everybody, John Swell back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review for The Flash Season 2, Episode 7, titled Guerrilla Warfare. And of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into tonight's episode, In Grodd We Trust. Yes, the return of Grodd, and I personally love it. I personally... Last season, it was phenomenal that we got to see our first ever live action incarnation of Gorilla Grodd. As you all probably may or may not know, Grodd is one of my favorite Flash villains and just one of my favorite DC villains in general. And the fact that they brought him back and did not gave us the freaking decency of not killing him off last season, it was a great move on their part to bring him back for this season. And there was a lot of awesome improvements. Specifically, the cinematics and visuals. The special effects are just superb. They're fucking amazing. Obviously, it's definitely a major improvement from the Season 1 Grodd. However, it's still not up to the, I guess, to par with, like, the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes franchise. However, that's a movie budget. It's a TV budget. Things will differ, but for a TV budget, they definitely destroyed. When it came to the visuals of this episode, they definitely destroyed. I mean, hell, they gave us King Shark. King fucking Shark! Who the fuck saw that coming? So yeah, they definitely did a great job at recapturing the essence and beauty of Gorilla Grodd in live action. And with a TV budget, it looked great for what it was, and I liked it. There was a lot of real cool instances where Grodd he definitely had a plan this time. It wasn't just, trying to defeat the Flash for, because Reverse Flash obviously made him to. This time he had a legitimate plot that he was going to want to use Caitlin Snow to essentially create more superpowered and, psychotic great apes like himself, so he wouldn't be so alone. Because that's the thing, Gorilla Grodd is very lonely in this TV show. He's very specifically depressed that there's not more apes like him. And of course, if we have learned anything from the Planet of the Apes franchise, apes get lonely when they're the only ones of their kind, and if you've seen Caesar and how he reacted in Rise of the Planet, I mean, shit's gonna go down. It's inevitable, and you know me, I'm a huge ape fan, so they did a lot of justice to that. But because they're people animals, they need contact, they just need the logistics of living, and Gorilla Grodd doesn't have that because he's the only one of his kind. So that's the essential plot of this episode. On top of that, we have another subplot between Barry not really focusing and harnessing the Speed Force, obviously back, spoilers, but last week's episode, over the hilarious and destructive loss that he encountered with freaking Zoom. I mean, let's face it, Zoom beat the living... Barry got the living... He got Ronda Rousey. He fucking got the shit kicked out of his ass. Fucking Zoom was Holly Holm, Barry was Ronda. It was a done deal. He was laughable at how hilarious, how destroyed he was by the end of that episode. But he has a lot of anxiety. He has a lot of tribulations. He has a lot of problems going rumbling around his head. He doesn't have the focus. He doesn't have the drive or the ability to believe in himself like he did prior to getting the shit kicked out of him by Zoom. So that's essentially another subplot. And plus, on top of all that glorious awesomeness, we have Cisco trying to get laid. Freaking awesome, I guess. As we already know in previous episodes, and of course with future episodes, Hawkgirl is going to be, Kendra Saunders is going to be a major influence in this series, this CW universe, and of course she will transition to Legends of Tomorrow, the new DC CW miniseries that's going to be coming out, if I'm not mistaken, in January. So there's a lot of real cool stuff going on there. My only problems with it, and this is like my major I guess negative I have for this week's episode, which is the Cisco and Kendra stuff. Don't get me wrong, I like the actress they got for her. I think she's cool and all. I mean, I don't think she's as badass as I would like her to be because, I obviously, with a lot of us, I grew up with the Justice League animated series, and Hawkgirl was always a badass, and she was always strong, and she didn't take shit from anybody. But in this series, they CW'd her and they made her a little bit more like an average kind of, teenage chick to a certain extent. And now she's a love interest for Cisco. And as much as I love Cisco, don't get me wrong, I love the character of Cisco. He's fucking awesome. He's funny. He's so little and adorable. And he's a nerd. And he's awesome. He's Cisco. He's one of the best fanboy characters ever created for any kind of superhero TV show. There's no denial in that. But there's only two dudes. In my personal subjective opinion, there's only two dudes who are allowed to mac on freaking Hawkgirl. Number one is Hawkman, obviously, which they will be introducing very soon. And number two is John fucking Stewart, the Green Lantern. I know CW is very sketchy with like how they may or may not use the Green Lantern verse, but you know, if they're gonna fucking have some kind of Hawkgirl dating other dudes, you gotta bring in John Stewart because he's the guy for this kind of a situation. He's the dude. He's the guy. And plus, I mean, like, I wish they would just make Diggle already freaking Green Lantern instead of Dignito, because I'm just saying, I'd rather go with the green suit than that wackadoo fucking helmet he's been wearing, but that's a whole nother topic video. But at the end of the day, this episode was great. It was an amazing, fun, entertaining episode. It was also scary. It was kind of like... It was not on par with Enter Zoom. I think Enter Zoom so far is my favorite episodes of the season as of now. But this one was very good because it definitely showcased CW's enhancement in their CGI, their budget, and you can definitely tell they put a lot of love into designing Grodd this time around. Last time you can tell that they were just, you know, trying to like make sure every scene he was in the shadows, so because they didn't have the ability to do him 100% with all the glory and the, shabam, but this time around, they fucking destroyed. Grodd looks scary. He looks like an actual formidable foe for Flash. Of course, it's not a big deal because there's not really a really intense, over-the-top final boss moment with Grodd and Barry, but I think it was good the way they handled it, because as a fan, I feel like it would have been more of a negative if they tried to kill off Grodd and with a final boss fight than how they handled it. So the way they did it and ended off Grodd with this season, I'm pretty sure we'll see him again, hopefully, because, I mean, like, Grodd's awesome, but, you can definitely tell that they left him for possible other stories in the future. So it's really cool on that front. Of course, we also have this very interesting Caitlin Snow, Harrison Wells story arc that's going around. Wells wants to return back to his home because Barry failed hilariously, and fucking depressingly, so he has no purpose here anymore. But, there's a lot of real cool factors with them not really knowing what they're doing. They don't know how to handle Zoom. If Harrison Wells goes back, he will die. Zoom will kill him. So it's going to be very interesting to see where things go. But as much as Caitlin hasn't really had an episode to really shine, I think this episode did justice to Caitlin. She was very strong. She was very smart. She got Harrison Wells to stop being an asshole and be, a part of the team. And that was achieved in this episode. I really liked that. She was a friend to Grodd. She didn't hate Grodd. And she felt like, at the end of the day, she felt depressed about possibly betraying Grodd. So I like the dynamics as to what they used the character of Caitlin and how they used her. I think it was phenomenal, and it was good to see that Harrison Wells is officially a part of Team Flash. He's not like an outsider. He's not like an asshole. I mean, he's still, as Cisco likes to call him, Harry, but, he's still in there. So it's really cool on that front. So this episode, at the end of the day, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, entertaining. I'm not big on the Cisco Hawkgirl stuff. I feel like that's unnecessary, especially freaking next episode, we're going to be introduced to Hawkman, so what's the point of, having those two characters go off and do some kind of, wink-wink kind of sexual encounters, if you will. So what's the point of that if you're going to introduce this character, like, literally next episode? I find no purpose in it, and I just want to see John Stewart Green Lantern already, like a lot of us, but I guess we're not going to get that. Hopefully with the movies, but unfortunately for the TV-verse, we will not be getting that anytime soon. But overall, my final verdict for this episode, I have to give it a good solid 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8 on a good day, but overall a 7.5 out of me. It's definitely above average, but there wasn't anything that really blew me away the same as episode 6 Enter Zoom. Like, it's a good episode, it's a fun episode, and if you're a Grodd fan, this definitely delivered, especially visually. But besides that, there's not really any real visual fight, if you will. There's not really a good final boss fight, and the Cisco and Hawkgirl stuff I'm not really a big fan of. And on top of that, I'm not really... It was kind of just weird to see Barry go through this weird, Jedi's journey, if you will, to try and, like, get back into the groove and have his dad come in, Henry. And as much as I love John Wesley Shipp, it just felt like a nuisance because you left in the first place, so... I understand he had to come back to be some kind of motivation for Barry to get out of that funk, but I feel like you could be here all the time and he would never had these situations, you asshole. That's kind of like what... I'm still pissed off. I'm sorry. I'm still pissed off about the pilot. Well, not the pilot, but the episode 1 of the season where he just leaves. It's just... It's still... with me, and I don't know, I still have, there's a lot of iffy things when it comes to Henry Allen. I know there's a lot of fan theories out there about, Henry Allen possibly being actually Zoom. I don't know about that. I mean, it's all about the eyes. Those eyes, they're fucking creeping me out. Maybe it's true, but as of right now, I don't know what to think. Zoom could be anybody at this point, but he's definitely on the list of suspects. But, him going and leaving, anytime he wants, I'm just saying, that's a freaking prime suspect right there. But overall, it's a good, solid episode. 7.5 out of me. So let me know what you personally think in the comment section below. What did you think about this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think about the return of Grodd? Would you have liked him to be more savage? Or did you like this more mundane, kind of peaceful episode? And what are your personal thoughts on, Gorilla City? I mean, we got to see freaking Grodd find Gorilla City, his little piece of utopia, a piece of heaven for him, where he will more than likely rule with an iron fist and then use that ape army to go to Central City and destroy shit, which I think would be an amazing episode if they do. Maybe that's like a season 3 type shit, but that would be awesome. I mean, Ape City versus Central City, and Team Flash has to take down Grodd and, like, his army of apes. Like, Planet of the Apes meets Flash. Oh, my brain's already melting at the awesomeness of the speculations alone. But that being said, let me know what you personally think about that. And of course, next week there will be no Flash episode, unfortunately. This is the last episode for this month, so there will be no episode next week. However, December 1st will be the first episode in the Flash Arrow crossovers. Yes, it will be titled, if I'm not mistaken, Legends of Today, and I guess Legends of Tomorrow will be the Arrow episode. So, from the teasers, a lot of shit's gonna go down. Vandal Savage is coming, freaking Hawkman's coming, shit's blowing up, Flash and Arrow have to team up once again. Things are gonna get a little hairy, if you will. If I had to use Cisco, it's gonna get a little hairy. So shit's going down. I can't wait for that. Unfortunately, it's not gonna come next week, but December 1st, we will be getting that episode. So a lot of cool things in the future. Let me know your personal thoughts and speculations for the crossovers in the comment section below. But that being said, this has been The Flash, episode 7 of season 2. Let me know your personal thoughts about it, but I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. At the end of the day, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, @Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been Jonch12.